Okay, here we are on number 19. Again, read it and try it yourself. Volunteers are needed to do a total of 60 hours of work at a concert. The shortest volunteer shift is 2 hours, and the longest is 3 hours. So that means you can work for 2 hours or you can work for 3 hours. Which inequality shows V, the number of volunteers needed? Okay, so the number of volunteers we need. If we needed the fewest amount of volunteers, we want them to work the longest possible time. And the longest possible time is 3 hours. That's the longest they can work is 3 hours. So if all of our volunteers worked 3 hours, how many volunteers would we need? Remember, we need 60 hours of help. If everybody worked 3 hours, how many people do we need? 60 divided by 3 is 20. We would need 20 volunteers if they each work 3 hours, because 3 times 20 is 60. Now, how about if they work the shortest time, if they only work 2 hours? How many volunteers? If everybody only worked 2 hours, that would be the minimum of time. How many volunteers are we going to need? Well, 60 divided by 2, that's 30. So the fewest we need is 20. The most we need is 30. So let's put the small number first. 20 is less than how many we need. That's the fewest. So it's got to be bigger than 20. So we're going to put the V here. That's how many volunteers we need. Volunteers have to be more than 20. If you read this way, it's greater than 20. If you read this way, 20 is less than the number of volunteers we need. And that's going to be less than 30, right? Because we can't get more than 30 volunteers. 30 is if they're all just working 2 hours. So that looks good, except for one thing. We have to know, is it this kind or is it with the equal underneath? Can they be exactly 20? Can everybody work 3 hours? Yes. It doesn't say that one has to work 2 hours. No, they can all work 3 hours. So you might have everybody working 3 hours, so it could be less than or equal to 20. It can be 20, and it can also be, right there, 30. Less than or equal 30. So this is the one we want. And which one is that? Right there. Okay, number 20. Let me move my thing here. Try that one on your own. Read it. Let me make it a little closer. You read that first. Okay. Jenna bought some apples for $1.25 per pound and some avocados for $4 per pound. Altogether, she spent $14.25 for 7 pounds of apples and avocados. That means altogether there were 7 pounds, but we don't know apples and which avocados. What is the total number of pounds of avocados she bought? So we want to find out the avocados. Okay, so these are the answers for avocados. So we're going to put how many apples next to it. So remember, they have 7 altogether. So if they have 1 that's avocados, how much must be apples? I'll put app here, and this is av here. If there's 1 avocado, how many must be apples? 6, because 1 and 6 is 7. Okay, 1 is avocados. That's $4. 6 are apples. What's 6 times $1.25? $7.50? $7.50. If we add these together, what do we get? $11.50. Nope, that's not right. We spent more than that. We spent $14.25. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to try the answers until I find the right one, right? That makes sense to do that. Let's try 2 avocados. How many apples? Remember, it adds up to 7. 5 apples. 2 avocados is 2 times 4 is $8. 5 apples, is 5 times $1.25. That's 5 plus $1.25 is $6.25. Now we add them, and what do we get? $14.25. We got the answer right there. Now, of course, they expected us to do this the algebra way, right? So let's try it for algebra. We want to find avocados, so we're going to do A for avocados. So we know this. Avocados, A for avocados, each one costs $4. So 4A is how much money the avocados cost. If it's one avocado, it's $4. If it's two avocados, it's 8. Plus, how much does the other ones cost? $1.25 times what? Well, if avocados is A and there's 7 altogether, then how many must be apples? Apples must be 7 minus A. See how we got that? A, if there's A avocados, then you subtract A from 7 to get how many apples there are. Okay, and all of this is going to be equal to $14.25. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I got 4A plus 1.25 times 7. If you put that in your calculator, you get what? 8.75. I'm just doing quarters. 7 quarters is $1.75. And I add that to 7. Minus, because it's a minus, 1.25A equals 14.25. Okay, so I'm going to subtract this $8.75 from both sides. And I'm going to put this with this. So that's 4A minus 1.25A. If you do 4 minus 1.25, you're going to get 2.75A. I subtract $8.75 from both sides. So now it's on this side as a minus $8.75. Okay, so now I get this equals what? 6,550. And I get $2.75A equals 550. Hope you're not even following me, are you? Oh, here, how's that? I subtract this, I got 550. What do I do? I want 1A. I want to get 1A. How do I get 1A? I divide by 2.75. So that means I divide this by 2.75. And you might know that this looks like a big number, but it's only going to come out to 2, because 2 times this is that. So A is 2. And there it is. A is 2. This is doing it the algebra way. Seems like it would have been easier just to try your luck until you found the right one. Okay? On to number 21. Okay. Now, Kayla is 56-year-old. Kathleen is 6 years older than Brody. The sum of Kathleen's and Brody's age is half Kayla's age. How old is Kathleen? So Kathleen and Brody together is half of Kayla's age. So they must be much younger than him, much younger, because together they make half of his age. They don't even make his age, they make half of his age. How old is Kathleen? Okay, so let's think first. What is going to be half of Kaylin's age? Because together they're half of Kaylin's age. So we want 1/2 of 56, which is the same as 56 divided by 2. If you do that, you get 28. So you know that Kathleen and Brody add up to 28. Right? I'll put C plus B. Okay? Oh boy. Kathleen and Brody add up to 28. Okay? But Kathleen is 6 years older than Brody. She's 6 years bigger than him. Okay, well, she can't be 62 because there's no way they're going to add up to 28. She can't be 34 because they're not going to add up to 20. Even if she's 22, Brody would be 6 years younger. He would be 16. And that's going to add up to 38. That's too big also. How about 17? If she's 17, How old's Brody? Remember, he's 6 years younger than her. He's 11. What does this add up to? Ta-da! 28. Half of Caleb. 22. Not 22. Is that what we picked? No, here's the right one. 17. And there's Brody's age, 11. That's Kathleen's age, 17. 17, 11, 28. Okay. Now, try reading this one. Did you try it? Okay. So this is like a store problem, okay, when you get a discount. Okay, discount means you take money off the price. Okay, a backpack is on sale for 25% off. After the discount is taken, a 7% sales tax is applied. If the original price of the backpack is P, which equation represents the final cost, C, in dollars of the backpack? Now, you can get the discount by taking 25% of P. P is the cost. And if you take 25% of that, that means multiply by what? Not 25%, but by 0.25. Remember, you can't multiply by percent. You have to change it to a decimal. You move the decimal point 2 places because percent is really hundredths. It's a fraction, 25 hundredths. And this says 25 hundredths in decimal form. 25 hundredths times P. That's your discount. But we want to know what the price is going to be, the final cost. So we don't want to know the discount. We want to know what the price is. So you start with P and you subtract 0.25 P. We could have done this in the beginning, really. If we know 25% is off, that means the price is 75% of the original price. 1P minus 0.25P is 0.75P. So we start with 75% of the price because they took 25% off. We're paying 75%. Okay, that's our price. But we have to pay sales tax. What's sales tax? 7%. So we can't do 7% times. We can't multiply times 7. We're going to multiply. We're going to divide that by 100 to get the decimal. It'll be 0.07, not 0.7, 0.07. So you're taking this and multiplying it by 0.07. But that's not going to give you the final cost. That's going to give you the sales tax. You have to add that to what we had, 0.75p. Now what we could have done, if we're going to add plus 0.75p, which was the discounted price, if we're going to add that, we could have just done this. We could have done this, 0.75p times, instead of multiplying it times the sales tax, multiply it times 1, which is itself the cost, plus the sales tax, 1.07. So we multiply by 1.07. It's just going to increase the price 7% for the sales tax. When you multiply by 1.07, the 1 is keeping the price and the 0.07 is the adding the sales price. That should do it. That should give you your new cost. Can you find it up there? P times 0.75. Here's P times 0.75, but it's times 0.07. We want 107. Here it is, P 0.75 times 1.07. This is the price after we take the 25% discount. We're left with 75% of the price. This is times the sales tax and the original, the discounted price, because we want to increase it by 0.07, so we have to multiply it by 1.07. If we don't include the 1, we're only finding the sales tax. We have to include the 1 because we want to add it to the discounted price. Anyway, that's the right one. On to number 23. here we go. We have a table here, so I'll let you look at the table and read the story. I'll let you look at the question too, but I can't show you the answers without moving it. Okay, a newspaper published a table below. It shows a sample of daily wages paid by 5 local factories. Each factory reported the wages of 5 workers. So factory A gave you 5 workers, factory B gave 5 of theirs, factory C 5 of theirs, factory D 5 of theirs, and factory E 5 of their workers. That's their salaries. First question, what is the median daily wage reported by factory D? Okay, factory D, what's the median daily wage? Now you might think you have to add them all up and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you did that, you would be finding the mean daily wage, the average daily wage, the mean. We don't want the mean, we want the median. The median is the wage in the middle if you put them in order. So the middle would be the third one because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the smallest? 200. Then comes 205, 210, and there's 2 220s. So what was the third one? 1, 2, 3. That's in the middle. And these two are bigger and these two are smaller. 210 is the median. The median is the middle one if you put them in order. The median. Not the mean. The mean is mean because you have to do all that adding and dividing. Okay, number 24. Try that one. Did you do it? Let's see. The worker at Factory A who made $180 per day received a raise and now makes $195 per day. If this value were changed in the table, how much would the average wage increase for a factory? How much would the average wage increase for Factory A as a result of this raise? How much is the average going to go up? Wow. So Factory A, it says you take the worker who made 180, that's that one, and you change it to 195. You give him a raise to 195. Let me show you this. You're going to change that to 195. How much is the average going to go up? Well, you could do that this way. You could add them all up as it is now before you change it and divide by 5. Then you could add 15 to that one, make it 195. Add them all up again and divide by 5. You can do it that way, right? Let's look at it a different way. How do we get the average? We add them all up. Now, I'm not going to add them all up. I'm just going to put a T for the total. And I'm going to divide by 5, right? But now the second time, after they gave a $15 increase to the one worker, right? Do we have to add them all up again? No, we just have to add 15 to the total. So the new one, the new average is going to be the total plus 15, right? We're just going to add 15 to the old total. And again, we're going to divide by 5, right? So this is the new one. Now that means this one's the old one. And the new one, we can break it apart like this. It's T divided by 5 plus 15 over 5, right? Look at the old one. Look at the new one. The new one's the same as the old one. The average is the same, except you add 15 over 5. What's 15 over 5? $3. You're just going to add 3 to the average to get the new average. Even though you increased by 15, right? We increased by 15. You divide that 15 by 5. And so the average is only going to go up 3 because these didn't increase at all. They got 0 increase. This one went up 15. The average increase was 15 divided by 5, $3. You got that? $3. You could have figured out the new average and the old average and seeing that it was $3 higher. But it's easier just to think about it and figure out that the average is only going to change 3. Okay, last one. Here you go. Okay, Lydia and Claudia have the same number of charms in their collection. So their charms are equal, the number. Lydia started with 6 charms and bought 3 more packs. Claudia started with 9 charms. She had more in the beginning, but she only bought 2 more packs. Well, you can figure that out real easy. If each pack had X charms, which equation can be used to find X? Well, you can already get X. Look, she had 3 more charms, but she brought 1 more pack, and now they're the same. That means 1 pack must be 3 charms, right? That would be great if they asked us, but they didn't ask us that. They asked which equation. Okay, so we're going to think of Lydia's first. She has 6 charms and 3 packs. And we're concerned with finding how many charms are in a pack. So 3 packs means 3x. Got it? 3 times x, because there's x charms in each pack. So Lydia is 6 plus she brought 3 packs, and each pack has x charms. That's Lydia. And what do we know? It's equal. They have the same amount. So we're going to put an equal. And Claudia started with 9, but then she bought how many? 2 packs. And each pack had X in it. We're done. There it is. Which one up there is the same as this? Remember, they can switch the order. And they did. Look at the last one. 3x plus 6, 6 plus 3x. 2x, 9 plus 2x, 2x plus 9. We found the equation. It was actually an easy problem if you thought about it. She had 6, she had 9, so she had 3 more, but she brought 1 more pack. That means a pack must have 3. That's how she catches her. Anyway, that's it, folks. That's the end of practice test number 2. This is actually the practice test from 2017. I'm going to try to find more practice tests that are closer to where we are in the year 2022. And there's another book that somebody gave me that has practice problems in it. We might do some of that in the meantime. Anyway, I hope you're working on these. Try to get an understanding. You can always do them again and see if you can remember. Always, when you're doing these problems, try pausing it, right? And trying it yourself. And then if you can't do it, you watch the video, but as soon as you think you might know how to finish it, pause it again. Do a lot of pausing, because the more you're able to do on your own, the better you'll do on the test. That's the whole point. You want to get to where you can do these problems on your own. Granted, some of them are really hard to do. That one with the quadratic formula, forget that. You have to know that formula to do that. I was actually able to figure it out without the quadratic formula by trying the answers. Oh, but that's just too hard. That's just way advanced. Anyway, I hope you're just keep working on these. Your mind will start thinking more mathematically the more you do it. Okay, good luck. Bye-bye for now.